off now, leading in.
Now, as we begin to start the celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, EAP is going to join in with us also, am I correct?
Yes. Well, we celebrate, we've been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
So we have our Hispanic Heritage Month lunchtime concert series, where we do it is every Tuesday between, Hispanic Heritage Month nationally is celebrated between September 15th and October 15th. So we do it every Tuesday between that time, starting on September 20th, the 27th, October 4th, and October 11th, from 12 to 2 at the Farmers Market site with cultural music, and including one of our performers here today, Mauricio.
Now, Mauricio,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about yourself. What instrument do you play, or do you play more than one instrument?
I'm mostly a drummer. That's basically
Okay.
what I do. And I was born and raised in Brazil, and I came to the U.S. about, I was telling David, about 13 and a half years ago. And basically, I came up to, continue my studies in music and play jazz. And being New York such a, huge center for jazz and the whole planet, so I figured the closer it could be to New York, the better. So.
Now, you say you're a drummer. You're a percussionist, or what do you classify yourself?
Drummer. Yeah. No, sometimes there's a little confusion. Like drummer normally is a guy who plays the drum set.
Right.
Percussionist, normally he plays all sorts of different percussion instruments like congas and
Right. So you're strictly to the drum set?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's mainly what I do. Yeah.
And how did you get into music?
I come from a musical family, so my dad used to be a bass player, so he always played music at home and in the car. And eventually, I got interested in guitar, but I was kind of little at the time. I was like 7 years old. And then by the time I was 11, I got interested in drums and began taking lessons. And I actually started out as a rock drummer because I'm from Brasilia in Brazil, and it's mostly a rock city, rock music kind of scene down there. And a lot of rock groups come out of Brasilia, but
Brazilian rock?
Yeah. So, but eventually, I began to get interested in jazz and classical music, so I went to the other spectrum of,
Now, what is Bossa Brasil's approach to Brazilian music?
Basically, we mix a few different styles of Brazilian music with jazz. So, it includes bossa nova and samba, baião, sometimes like chorinho. So there are different kinds of Brazilian music that we play in more of with a jazz flavor. And
So as of this date and this moment, what has been your most memorable performance or your most memorable experience?
the performances for Teatro C are really interesting because they pick really unique venues for us to perform in. For example, like we did a few gigs at some galleries, and art galleries, and it's such an interesting setting, and the audience is always they're there just for the music, so it's nice to play like that, And another one was we recently did the Sounds of the City in Newark at NJPAC, so that was quite an experience also.
Now, in addition to you, the drummer, who else is in the band? How many other pieces?
It varies. It depends on the venue and depends on the the gig and everything. But mostly I do trio gigs, sometimes quartet, quintet, and the instruments normally drums and bass are the basic ones, and then I'll add a piano or a vibraphone with a guitar sometimes, a saxophone. So I try to break it up too, bring in different musicians and all.
And just one more, how did you get involved with the Elizabeth Avenue Partnership for Hispanic Heritage Month celebration?
This was through Teatro C. Patrick Cruz, like he's the he's the person in charge of the organization, and also so he promotes all these events and has the connections, and also so it'd be great to be in Elizabeth. It'd be
Can you tell him Teatro C? Who is Teatro C? What they do?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a non-profit organization, and they're basically they support the arts. They promote musical events and theatrical events, and dance. Like dance is also part of their programs, and basically they just search for venues or events like this, like to get people exposed to the Latin American culture and Hispanic culture and everything. So it's great to have an organization like that out there. So.
And Dave, how frequent or how often are these concerts going to take place?
We'll have the schedule right here.
Okay.
On September 20th is our first one, between 12 and 2, like I said. And we have a great band called Yankala. And they do sounds of the Caribbean, bachata, bolera, salsa. They're very lively, a lot of fun. On September 27th, the next Tuesday, we have Trio Cristal, which is a Latin jazz guitar trio. They've performed for several years on the Avenue, and they really do a great job. October 4th, the next Tuesday, we have Yas Cortez. It's an Argentinian couple. They're a duo. They're a husband and wife team that they do Latin American music, popular tango, some boleros, and flamenco. And then in our final grand finale act, we have Mauricio and Bossa Brasil to be the grand finale act. We usually saved our best for last. And the reason I asked him about Teatro C is because I just wanted him to explain who they were. We were saying it. We've worked with them for about 10 years also, and they have given us tremendous acts. Even last year, we had free tango lessons on the square provided by Teatro C. And one of our most popular is the flamenco dancers.
Right.
But this year we're going in a different direction. We're doing more performance-based acts.
Now this is the 10th anniversary of the EAP's Hispanic Heritage. Anything special, or you just covered it?
Yeah, I just covered it. And Mauricio is going to be our grand finale act. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the Hispanic Heritage Month is sponsored by a Heart Grant, and we get that from the Division of Cultural and Heritage Affairs over at the county. And it's Heart Grant means history, education, and arts reaching thousands, and it's from the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. So we receive a $2,400 grant to bring in these performers, and we match it with some EAP funds for these events.
Now, without getting too deep into it, the visual enhancement plan, how's that coming along?
Wow, you jumped from music to... no, this is great. This could be a whole other show, but I just wanted to let you know and let some of the viewers know that we hired a consultant, Community Insights, to do a visual enhancement plan, and it's a very intense study. They literally do curb to cornice, which means a study from the curb to the whole, whole existing storefront. 326 businesses, 43 blocks of business-to-business comprehensive study, giving us suggestions. Do they need a new sign? Is there too much signage in the windows? And then it's our job as the EAP to go ahead and put together a letter and work with the businesses to put forth these suggestions.
Okay. Now, Mauricio, what other kind of events do you participate in to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month?
Well, we perform at some festivals, as I mentioned, like the NJPAC. And even when I played at NJPAC, they brought like 2 different Brazilian groups. They had another group from Brazil, directly from Brazil, also performing that same night. So, mostly festivals and special performances that provide that kind of entertainment and everything. So.
And the type of music you play, you classify it as what? Would it be salsa, merengue, jazz?
Would be basically a Brazilian jazz. As I explained before, we mix different styles of Brazilian music.
And that's up tempo, or?
Yeah. We break it up. We do some more up tempo things. We do more like lyrical tunes. Also, I try to keep it varied. So.
And what dance would match that? Would it be a merengue, salsa, or?
Well, it would be like bossa nova or samba.
Okay.
Those kind of So yeah, if people want to dance, they're more than welcome to.
Maybe give a lesson.
Yeah. Sure.
And you take a lot of drummer solos there, or?
Yeah, being the leader of the group, I have a couple of features and everything.
So anytime you want, if you're the leader, you just take the solo, drummer, and just.
Yeah, I try not to overdo it. I'm not that dictatorial,
Okay. Very modest.
I see it. Yeah.